Jury charge briefs. Mr. Foreman, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, cruel and unusual punishment, robbery, cause of death, reasonable cause, convict, closing argument, compensatory damages, personal injury, proximate cause, insurance company, special circumstances, proximate result, mitigating circumstances, bodily injury, sole judge, perpetrator, lieutenant, sole judges, detective, sergeant, aggravated assault and battery, from the evidence, burden of proof, court reporter, indictment, indict, preponderance of the evidence, probable cause, hearsay, opening statement, closing argument, preponderance, preponderate, subpoena, verdict, as a matter of fact, as a matter of law, courtroom, voir dire, beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond all reasonable doubt, beyond reasonable doubt, beyond any reasonable doubt, guilty, not guilty, guilt, innocence, innocent, juror, presumption of innocence, presumption of guilt, presumption, reasonable doubt, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, fingerprint, witness, search and seizure, preliminary examination, facts and circumstances, guilt or innocence, questions of law, question of law, question of fact, questions of fact, sustained, credibility, believability, specific intent, expert witness, bear in mind, handgun, shotgun, gunshot, gunshot wound, semi-automatic, matter of fact, matter of law, qualified, number of witnesses, police officer, greater number of witnesses, take into account, take into consideration, manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter, if you find, foreperson, presiding judge, presiding juror, instructions, if any, pain and suffering, ordinary care, in and of itself, referred to as a matter of law, on the ground, from the evidence, himself or herself, him or her, he or she, his or her, herself or himself, sole and exclusive judges, each and every, anticipate, prejudice, so-called, agree, disagree, agreement, disagreement, agreed, disagreed, premeditate, premeditated, premeditation, characteristics, malice, malice aforethought, ordinary reason and prudence, aforethought, criminal intent, purport, purported, voluntary or involuntary, heat and passion, heat of passion, inference, express or implied, defense attorney, plaintiff's attorney, compensatory, special instructions, true and accurate, true and correct, rules of law under the circumstances, if you recall, felony murder rule, aid and abet, aided and abetted, drug or intoxicant, direct or circumstantial, direct evidence, circumstantial evidence, on the part, madam, forelady, burglary, larceny, comparison, as follows, instruct the witness, substantive, insure, insurer, hazard, insanity, punishable, mental disease, incapacity, affirmative, alleged, alleges, allegation, duty, compulsion, incapacitate, depravity, depraved, blood alcohol content, blood alcohol level, bias or prejudice, legal provocation, sympathy, presumptive, arraignment, appearance, fair and impartial, fairly and impartially, state of mind, burden, cause of action, contract, contributory negligence, negligent, negligence, defendant, defense, gentlemen of the jury, grand jury, in other words, judgment, negotiation, witness stand, prudent person, prudent, prudence, prosecution, prosecute, procedure, proceed, testify, testimony, distinguish, fanciful, whimsical, capricious, jury room, felony, misdemeanor, commission, prove, proof, under the influence, confession, impeach, impeached, contradictory, consistent, deliberations, conscientious, conscientiously, sentiment, conjecture, public opinion, public feeling, arrested, unlawful, principles of law, liability, statements, arguments, judicial notice, deliberate, deliberates, deliberation, public, accessory, before the fact, after the fact, accessory, before the fact, accessory, after the fact, substantial doubt, as I said, jury trial, jury box, prejudice, bias, or sympathy, assault, clarification, corroboration, corroborate, damage, deliberate, deliberation, innocent, innocence, prejudice, presume, presumption, preponderance, prudent, prudence, burden, controversy, controversial, heroin, hypothetical, juror, jury, marijuana, neglect, negligent, negligence, speculate, stipulate, verdict, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, members of the jury, court and jury room, courtroom, superior court, district court, Supreme Court, juvenile court, plaintiff's exhibit, people's exhibit, defendant's exhibit, marked for identification, standard of care, prudent person, burden of proof, burden of proving, contributory, negligence, proximate cause, probable cause, assault and battery, reasonable doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond all reasonable doubt, beyond every reasonable doubt, beyond any reasonable doubt, in evidence, into evidence, direct evidence, indirect evidence, circumstantial evidence, preponderance of the evidence.